So we're here with Kent Graziano, who's actually the senior technical evangelist for Snowflake Computing.
Right.
Yeah, Snowflake Computing. Tell us what that is.
Well, so Snowflake Computing is a startup software company.
Okay.
We provide it's a data warehouse in the cloud.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's offered as a service.
Okay.
So it's built specifically to take advantage of the elasticity of the cloud and to expand beyond what traditional data warehouses have been able to do. We actually accommodate semi-structured data like Avro, XML, and JSON along with structured relational data.
All right.
And put it into the same engine and treat them equally.
Wow. Okay.
So you can join your semi-structured data to your structured data without having to write MapReduce or any fancy coding that you might know. If you know SQL, this is what got me working for the company. I went to a talk. They said, if you know SQL, we can have you working effectively in Snowflake inside of 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a big pitch. I've been a data warehouse consultant for close to 20 years now, and have worked through a lot of different technologies, a lot of different approaches, and this is just a very compelling story that this company's put together with this software.
Now, how long has Snowflake Computing been around?
I think it's going on a little over 3 years. They were in stealth for a while.
Okay.
We just went to general availability of the product, which is actually called the Snowflake Elastic Data Warehouse.
Okay.
Went general availability last June. We had some customers in beta for a year before that. And so fairly new offering in the market.
Yeah, and so would you say like one of the biggest selling points is just ease of implementation?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's unlike some of the bigger traditional relational databases and even the appliances, you don't need to be a systems engineer to figure out how to put the data in the right place in the right way. We don't have to do partitioning or indexing. All of that is handled seamlessly by the metadata we collect in the back in our cloud services layer. And then we determine on the fly how to give you the best performance possible.
Nice. All while maintaining a high level of security, I assume.
Absolutely, yeah. We have all kinds of security certifications. You can't not have your data encrypted with Snowflake. When you import your data to Snowflake, it's subject to encryption automatically, 256-bit keys. So that's already there. We're working on our HIPAA certification. We'll soon have HIPAA compliance certification, so we can store personal health care information securely, and it will actually be certified for doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, so security, it was built with security, it was built with fault tolerance, all in mind. One of the things, common question I end up getting is, well, what database is this based on? No database. They wrote it from scratch.
Wow.
Two of our technical founders came from Oracle, and the years of experience at Oracle working with the parallel queries in Oracle and the Exadata boxes and all the big stuff that Oracle has done. These were two of the lead engineers, and they came and decided to start their own company and do something different. And that's, say, we reinvented the data warehouse for the cloud.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what they really did. They started with 0 lines of code.
Just rolled up the sleeves
and went to code.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, and I walked by the booth a little while ago, and it's just a buzz. You know, there's a lot of excitement around the software and just. Yeah.
It's pretty exciting, yeah. A lot of people are coming up and asking us, so what exactly is this? And, you know, our biggest competitor is Redshift, so we spend a lot of time explaining what the difference is between us and Redshift. Yeah. And we have a pretty good story there. Yeah. It's pretty entertaining. We have customers that are doing proofs of concept, comparing Redshift to ours, and our performance and our price points for performance are significantly better, so the total cost of ownership is lower. It's a very flexible pricing model to go with the flexible architecture. Yeah, yeah. Well,
so, are there, are there some clients that you can talk about as far as like who's using it right now?
Yeah, there's. We just signed a big deal with Adobe before the end of last year. Wow, biggest deal ever. And so they're moving a lot of their data warehousing is going to go into Snowflake.
Interesting.
In the cloud. Yeah. I'm trying to think of some others out there. There's some gaming companies, some online ad agencies. A lot of people that are collecting data in the cloud already. Yeah. This is a perfect fit for them. Yeah. Their data's already in the cloud, so having a data warehouse in the cloud, they don't want to have a data center. Yeah. they don't need a data center.
Right.
And they don't necessarily know, they know it's going to grow, but they don't know how much. And because we're taking advantage of the elasticity of the cloud, when you start with Snowflake, you don't have to say, oh, I'm going to need X number of terabytes and I'm going to need so many nodes. It's all dynamic.
Yeah.
So it can shrink, grow as you need. As your data grows, then it automatically expands.
Yeah.
Your data contracts, it automatically contracts.
Yeah, and as your team spreads out across the globe, they all have edge access to the cloud. And,
yes. Yeah, and then they can spin up more compute power if they need it, and they can turn it down. And we actually have one of our really unique features is if you're not using the compute, you can turn it off, and the meter stops.
Oh.
You're not getting charged.
Wow.
But your data's still there.
Yeah.
And so when you turn it back on, the data's there. Go to work. And if you need more power, you can add nodes to it dynamically on the fly in the middle of a process.
Wow.
And it'll expand. So if you decide, well, normally this thing takes 3 hours, but I got to have this report done in an hour.
Yeah.
You can add more nodes right there on the fly and crank it up and get it all done.
Wow. So it's just like data contortionist. It just can do anything. Yeah. So, well, that's very exciting. How about plans as far as the rest of 2016, 2017? Anything that we can look to come from Snowflake?
We're planning to probably get an expansion into Europe.
Okay.
Right now, we're only available here in the U.S.
Okay.
We're on the Amazon cloud here in the U.S., and we're looking at actually moving over into Europe and making it available as a service over there.
Nice.
And then, there's a lot on the roadmap for the next 12 months. Some of it is going to be expansion of our ecosystem partners. We already have a partnership with Informatica.
Okay.
If you are an Informatica user, there's now a Snowflake option.
Wow. When
you go to pick your database in the drop-down list in there, there's a native connector now for Snowflake.
Nice.
We're working with Talend. So as another ETL vendor, we have a partnership with Looker, which is a cloud-based BI tool. They're a very strong partner with us. MicroStrategy, people are using MicroStrategy against it, and Tableau. It was just announced this week. We saw a picture from a trade show where Snowflake was listed up there on what's supported in Tableau now.
Wow.
So you can actually go turn your data scientists loose with Tableau on a Snowflake warehouse, and you're good to go.
Wow. So
you're going to see more of that over the year, connecting with other BI tools, other ETL tools. Eventually, I'm sure we're going to have some connections with some of the streaming data guys. We just released our Python connector here right before Christmas, and so now we have a certified connector for Python programmers to work with Snowflake.
Wow.
So there's a lot going on.
So for Data Day Texas 2017, this is going to be, you guys will probably be twice as big. And
the company's doubled in size since this time last year.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know that we'll be double this time next year, but we want our CEO is a very smart guy. Bob came from Microsoft and ran the database team there for a very, very long time. And he knows what he's doing, and he's looking at it and trying to very strategically grow the company. So we don't want to outpace ourselves, but we got to make sure we're going to move forward fast enough to keep up with the market demand, because we're getting a lot of interest.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of interest. And this show is helping a lot because we're getting the name out there, and so a lot of people coming by that had maybe kind of heard of us but didn't really sure what we did, and now they do. Now they do.
Yeah. Well, one of our the people on our team had seen someone with a Snowflake hoodie, I think, walking by, and she couldn't remember his name, and she was like, "Hey, Snowflake!"
Oh, that was me.
Oh, was that you?
Yeah, that was me yesterday. I had a Snowflake T-shirt on.
Oh, right. Yes. She's like, "Hey, Snowflake."
Yes.
And you're like, "Shh, no one calls me that outside of the."
That's all right. Yeah. It's like, I'll answer just about anything.
Well, it's been very exciting to hear what's going on. It really boggles my mind. Like something such a complex concept. Snowflake makes it sound like it's like very approachable.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons I went to work for them. Like I said, I've been in the data warehousing space for nearly 20 years. A lot of that time as a consultant and an independent consultant, but primarily as a data modeler and a data architect, and not really a DBA. So had a lot of frustrations over the years with organizations I was working with where the DBAs weren't readily accessible. Performance wasn't great. We couldn't figure out why. All this work, not any of that with Snowflake. When I saw that, I was like, hey, this is great. A data architect can design a data warehouse system using whatever modeling technique they want.
Yeah.
And put it in there themselves and build it themselves, and without having to wait for a DBA to figure out, and load terabytes of data and then figure out what the partition keys should be and all that. You don't have to do any of that.
Wow. Unshackled.
Unshackled. It's making my life a lot easier, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I expect it'll make a lot of data architects very, very happy.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Kent, thank you so much for your time, and thanks for coming to Day to Day Texas 2016.
Well, thanks for having me here.
Awesome. Cheers.
Cheers.